to Dishing with the DonoFANS, where we dish up juicy conversation with friendly banter with our fellow DonoFANS. I'm your host, Cricket, and my co-host, Tracy. And we have a very special guest today, one of our fellow DonoFANS, Joe. Welcome to the podcast, Joe.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. So we're just going to ask you some questions in reference to you being a fellow DonoFAN, and you just answer them however you feel comfortable, okay?
Yep.
All right. Well, Tracy, if you want to get us started, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
Okay, Joe, our first hard-hitting question. When did you start to be a fangirl of Trevor?
It would have been the Christmas season of 2020 after USS Christmas came out.
Okay.
So it must have been like a character thing, because I definitely like after that, I was like, oh, who's he? And I started like going into it, like, wait, I saw that. And it was odd, but that was just something about Billy Jenkins. I don't know.
You can't resist a guy in uniform.
Yes.
A man in uniform, I guess, because like, who is he?
Yeah.
It's so funny. Tracy and I always talk about the men in uniform, with her husband being, prior Navy, and me being the Navy too. And I agree that movie was something with Billy Jenkins, Trevor playing that role and him in that flight suit. Yeah. I think a lot of us feeling that same way, Joe.
Yeah. It was a good movie, and I kind of like started following him around that same time too. I think that was like the third thing I had seen him in, and I started to pay attention more at that point. So he wasn't just a pretty face.
Right. Joe, had you ever seen him in any other movies besides that one, or was that the very first movie that you saw him in, or had heard about him in?
Well, I'd seen him in several, and I just, like I said, it was something about that character, because everybody raves about Marry Me with Christmas, and I'd seen that, and now I go back and yeah, this is great. But the first time I saw it, I remember liking it, but nothing like clicked. Love Fallen Order again, liked it. It was a good movie. Nothing clicked. Watched USS Christmas, and oh my God, who is this?
That's like, buckle up, Betty.
That's right. I love it. Well, that's one of the very best ones to be kind of smitten with, if you will, because it was such a good movie. Yes. All right. So my next question, or the next question we're going to ask you is, why did you become a Dono fan? We know that you're a Trevor fan, but what made you become a Dono fan?
I guess because we just have such a great group, like all the Dono fans in general. Everybody is just great. They're so friendly. We have such a nice little group going on over on there on Twitter, and spread out onto Instagram now. So it's the people.
Okay.
Yes, like-minded attracts like-minded, I guess.
Great minds think alike.
He's an incredible human, and he seems to attract incredible humans. So there you go.
Absolutely. Now, do you follow any other fans on Twitter or any of the social media platforms?
Well, technically I follow a ton of people. I don't pay quite as much attention, but I do follow a bunch, because I've been in fandom for quite some time. So I have other people, Star Trek people and Stargate people and stuff that I follow, but it's not as active as it is. Like the DonoFANS, we're just very active.
Okay. Well,
we are a chatty bunch.
Well, that is interesting to me, because a lot of people that I have talked to, not just the DonoFANS, they are a part of another fandom, or they do like follow other people. But would you say, compared to the other fandoms that you follow, that you were more attracted to want to join the DonoFANS and interact with them because of Trevor's responding to, or his responses to his fans? Did that kind of hook you in, or?
Well, see, a lot of the other fandoms I'm in were like before social media was like a thing. Like, it's like, okay, I'm going to a convention. I'm going to turn off my computer. I'll talk to you guys when I get back, because, I'm going to be out of communication all weekend now. Now, like, your computer's in your pocket on your phone. So like, you're not out of touch anymore. So, fandom was different back then. But, Trevor is just very responsive, like, especially like on Twitter. He actually interacts with us, which it's kind of new, because like I said, we really didn't have social media then, so there wasn't quite as much direct interaction. So that was kind of a different angle. So that was kind of cool.
Yes, I agree with you 100% on that, because I had followed many people on Twitter and Instagram I wasn't really a part of too much until probably the last couple years. And you really didn't have, like, I followed so many people, I never got a like, I never got a response. And then something like, you said when you saw USS Christmas happen with a picture with me. And it is amazing how you go from, oh, what is this? And you're like interested. And then next thing you know, you're full blown in the DonoFANS, fandom. Don't you think too, Tracy, as well? I mean,
It's like you're, my husband jokes around that we're like a cult, but not in a bad way. Because it has very much consumed a portion of my daily existence. And
Yep.
but like it's not in a bad way. I mean, it's positive influences and effects, other than I'm on social media way more than I ever was. And sometimes I need to scale it back to make sure I pay attention to him because he likes that. So.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Tracy, if you want to go ahead and ask the next question. Did you have anything else to say before we do that? I'm sorry, Joe, I should have gave you a little follow-up there.
Not at the moment.
Well,
Okay.
our next question kind of like is a little bit of a follow-up to that, that we sort of just touched on a little bit. Has being a part of this, DonoFAN group changed your life? And if so, how?
Max, will you please stop? I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but he is working at the store. Max, stop it.
Love it.
It's definitely given me a whole new set of friends, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Definitely, and we've got a good group, and like if somebody's too quiet, we check on each other, and it's just really nice. It's definitely affected your life because I started my account like back in 2009, but I never really used it much. I'd like log on every once in a while. There, like somebody was live tweeting something, I'd log on a little bit for that, and I wouldn't touch it again. Then since DonoFANS came out, like I'm on Twitter more than I am anything else.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can contest to that too. I wasn't on social media that much either. And then it just seems like, man, it opened up a whole new world for me. And it's very life-changing in a sense because you not only gain new friends, you gain more information, you gain this knowledge that, hey, this this actor is more than just somebody on a social media platform. He's an actual person who does very, very good things for the community, for everybody. I mean, not only his fans, but the different things he does. So yes, that's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing for that. Um, Tracy, as far as life changing, and I know you and I, when we started doing this together, that pretty much changed my life a lot. I was struggling to maintain my life, my, social butterfly,
Yeah.
persona, if you will, but then also trying to fit in, recording episodes and doing different things. And none of this would have ever came to be had I not become a, Dono fan and became a Trevor Donovan fan. So I have to say it is life changing. And I know you feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, God's honest truth, if you had told me like 3 or 4 years ago that I would be putting myself out there on the internet in this fashion, I would have said you are high, because that was literally not on my radar. I was never comfortable with that. Pictures, much less doing any kind of video recording, whatever. I'm partially paranoid about like people accessing information on the internet and like being trolled by creepy people and whatever. So I really was not like, even in my career as a librarian, as the internet sort of evolved, it was encouraged that you develop a web presence and these things. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. No, I don't need to do that. So this is quite changing and in a lot of ways. And it's been good. It's kind of given me a different feeling about a lot of things. And it's been positive. So, and meeting, I would have again never expected to have like a social circle online, because Minus Cricket and Jackie, I have not met anybody. But
Mhm.
I feel like if I were to walk into a room and see these people, like we would just be like high-fiving and hugging each other
Yes.
because we've been like communicating in some fashion almost daily for, 2, 3 years now.
Mhm.
So,
That's
and
the
some
beauty
for
of
some
fandom.
people even longer.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of fandom. That's like absolutely one of the most amazing things about it.
Yeah. It's
And
it's not something I would have expected, honestly. I just started like commenting on people's, replies to some of his stuff and then started striking up conversations and it's like, "Oh, I have this in common with this one and this in common with this one." And, you know, you realize how much more we have in common than we realize.
Mhm.
it's just this
Absolutely.
bunch of just all, everybody's just so like nice. You're just like,
Yeah.
good people, if you know what I mean. There's not,
Mhm.
there's some people that just comment on Trevor's post that's just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever. And they just kind of, they do, I don't want to say we ignore them, but there's not as much response to it. And we just go on and we just, we got a whole circle of friends now just from basically following Trevor on Twitter.
Yeah. And the
That's
circle has grown over time. Like
mhm.
that's what's cool is like you keep finding more and more people that, the ones that are, comfortable putting themselves out there because not everybody is, but
Right.
the people that have done that. Um it's been cool because just meeting more and more people, you
Mhm.
know.
Absolutely. And I remember when I was at Rama Drama and I met you, Joe, and Susan, and I was just like, because I didn't really nobody, I didn't know faces. And so I had interacted with Joe, I interacted with Susan. And then when she came up to me, I was like, I don't know who she is, but then she said Joe, and I was like, oh my God, you're Joe. And then so, we took a little picture and a selfie. And I think the other Sarah was another one that we took a picture with that day. I think it was
Yeah, I
Sarah.
think so.
Yeah, and so it was really cool to finally put a face to that person that was online
Yeah.
there. So yeah, and I know that once a lot of the Dono fans go to Rama Drama too, and Joe can contest to this, it's going to be even more different and more exhilarating that you're a Dono fan and that you get to follow him and everything he does, because then your circle of friends grows,
Mhm.
because now you're not only following Trevor, you tend to follow the family of Rama Drama too. And
Yeah.
so your circle of friends is going to get even bigger.
Man,
But
we got a mission now because we got to compete with the heinies out there. Because let me
I
tell you,
know.
they're a force to be reckoned with.
It's
yes,
true. We gotta
yes.
level up.
I'm just
Yeah,
like, kind of, whoa.
mhm. We have been discussing things. So we are definitely on the road to figuring out what we need to do. So we're just waiting for that, date to get dropped. So,
Yeah.
and then I saw a post the other day that was saying how someday, I'm like, someday, what does that mean?
I
Rama,
saw that too. I'm like, hey, enough with the mystery and intrigue. We need hard facts now.
Yeah,
yes,
and like a little
yes,
advance notice would be nice. So some of us can like
yes,
save up for it and say, oh, okay, I got this coming. I'm gonna
yes,
Well,
side money.
exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
because airfare is freakishly expensive right now.
Yeah.
And I am assuming it is going to be somewhere that I'm going to need to get on a plane to get to. So,
Right. I know. I have a little bit of money put back right now, and I keep putting a
yeah.
little bit more each paycheck to make
Hmm.
sure I can cover it, because I really want to go, because I think,
Hmm.
and I was telling Tracy this too, that
Yeah.
hopefully the Dono fans, can be present there as well, the admin
Mhm.
group, and then also, hopefully the podcast.
Well, they really do a nice event because I've been to, lots of conventions and they really give it their all and it's a great experience.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
nice to hear that perspective from you, Joe, as somebody who has gone to other like fan event things, because I haven't. Like that was just not part of my whatever before. And to hear like you and other people that have gone to these sort of larger mega things talk about like how nice like Rama Drama specifically is, like, just sort of further validates why I want to go and spend that money. And Cricket already did the hard sell on my husband, so he agreed. Like, okay, I will support you. So, you need to go, you go.
Because even the actors are like, were all like really great. I mean, Trevor, of course,
Yeah,
was his charming self. But like Ryan Pavey was great. And Wes Brown was
yeah.
great.
If you do save a little bit more money and you get that platinum ticket, you can get up close and personal with Tyler, Andrew, all the rest of them at that final event. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you have to pay a little bit more money, but in my opinion, it's so worth it. so worth it. If you're looking to meet other people, you know, besides Trevor, other actors and
Yeah.
actresses, and yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
bit a different experience when you get to the end of the
Yeah.
Ramadan with that platinum ticket. So, but again, that's all based on what people can afford, and I understand that completely.
So, you know, if you've never been before, you don't quite really know it because it is so different from all the other events.
Mhm.
You sit there, you don't realize what you're actually getting for the money either, because I mean, really, like the
Yeah.
little like the meet and greets and everything, I was like, wasn't really sure how it was going to work, and that wound up being like really great.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Yeah.
5 minutes. What the hell am I going to say for 5 minutes? But
Yeah.
yeah, we actually did that with Trevor, and he just took off. He was just like chatting away. So like it was like not a problem. The 5 minutes were like gone like so quick. I'm like, okay, wow.
Oh, I know, it goes quick. The first year was 2 minutes, and so that was even quicker. Let me tell you, I don't
You
even
didn't even crack the surface with that.
know. And you know the difference between the first one versus the second one. The first one, you were at tables and everybody was kind of around you in other tables, and then the next time you actually were inside of a thing that was closed up, and you had
cabana kind of thing.
it was
Okay.
great. It was so great. I mean, it was nice because like I gave Trevor a bracelet, and I was able to give that to him in a personal setting versus
Yeah.
just, oh, here's a gift, you know. And it
Mhm.
was just so nice to see his response and to see him being thankful. And it was just, it's an experience. I can't even, you know, my words can't express it enough how wonderful it actually is. And you know, like you, Joe, I've been to other things too, and it is totally different than like
Mhm.
Wizard World and all these other things. It's just a whole different experience. They really have created something that is very unique, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to mirror that.
And I think it helps too, just because the actors are so much more. I'm not sure what the word I want is, but
Relax. They're
you just relax. It's I think the
Approachable.
atmosphere. I mean, you walk in, you get a hug, and it's just
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
just you don't really.
I
It's not.
feel like a lot of those actors just, you know, in that genre of film, but, you know, even some of the other ones, just from what I've seen online, like they just seem more down to earth and approachable. You know, they're stars, but they're not mega stars, and I don't really give a crap about that anyway. That's just useless, whatever, at the end of the day. But the fact that, you know, they are approachable and they will talk to you or, you know, reply to things online. I've like commented on some soap opera star stuff recently on Twitter, and like Eric Braeden from Young and the Restless liked something I said. I've been watching him on TV for like I mean, I haven't watched that stuff in a long time, but like I started watching Young and the Restless back in the dark ages.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
I
like,
watched that years
holy
ago
crap.
too. Okay,
And
quickly,
Michael Damian liked
clip this part
something.
out. But Eric Braeden like followed me.
Oh my
Oh
I'm like,
my God,
what?
that's awesome.
I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay, I'll have to see if it's still there. He might have like unfollowed me by now. It might have been by accident. I don't know. I'm like, why is he following me? Isn't that Victor from Young and the Restless? And I went and I checked. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I started following him, and I'm like, okay, this is weird.
That is hilarious. Well, even like that guy Rob Mays that you've met before, Cricket,
Yes.
like he's like some of the comments I've made,
Mhm.
like I just don't expect that kind of stuff. Like I really don't.
Well,
And
you need to follow him anyway
yeah,
because he was Navy.
yeah,
So
I do. I don't know why I haven't.
he's
It is a
he is so
lapse in
down
my
to earth.
judgment.
Yeah, he is very down to earth too, and he's such a wonderful person. So
Yeah,
definitely,
I totally want to meet him like now. I'm
yes,
just
yes, yeah. He's an amazing. I'm waiting for him to like break out on the country charts because I don't know why he's not already up there. I don't understand it. He writes so much music and his music is so good. But anyway,
that genre is like so stupidly competitive, but like the
yes, it
thing
is.
is, there's not, I feel like the quality is not
Mm-hmm.
like the amount of people that are putting out stuff is not reflective of that, like all being quality material. Like I think there are these people like him and others that sort of fly under the radar that are so incredibly talented. But you get these like songwriting machines that crank out hits for these, you know, giant stars. And I'm sorry, that stuff does not move me like most of the time. I feel nothing. So, I feel nothing.
Well, speaking of feeling nothing here, We know you felt something in the movie you described, Joe, of USS Christmas. But my question is that your absolute favorite movie of Trevor, or do you have another one?
Oh, no,
Do
that
you
is
like all of
definitely,
them?
that's my number one fave, absolutely.
Okay.
Every
USS.
time that is on, I will watch it. If it's not, couldn't tell you how many times I've watched that movie and I find out it's on again, I will sit my butt
Doesn't
down and I'll
matter.
watch it again.
There's
That's
no wrong amount of times.
Mhm. That is so awesome. Now, have you seen pretty much all of Trevor's movies and things that are out there, or is there any that you haven't seen yet?
I haven't seen actually, what is it, Love Finds You and Charmed?
Oh, really?
Yep, yeah, I have not seen
Oh
that
my
yet.
gosh. You can watch it on YouTube and mirror it to your TV. Seriously, the full movie is on YouTube.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
Yes. That's where I get a lot of my clips when I, post things is I go and get it from YouTube.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had recorded it when it aired on Up TV, I think last year or the year before, because I was late to seeing
Mhm.
that one as well. And I mean that one came out several years ago too, but that
Right.
I got that one, and I think Aloha with Love I recorded off of Up TV, and then the engagement plot off of Up TV. The only thing I hate is Up TV is not in HD, and it's like, why is this not? I know this is
Yeah.
zero to do with the conversation, but it's like, why are you
Right.
not in HD?
Mhm. Yes.
I upgraded my cable to get Up TV so I could watch Aloha with Love, and now my cable company pulled Up TV.
No.
I get it. I have to tell you guys. So because of that reason, I don't even think I get basic cable anymore. I get Philo. And
Okay.
Philo, they have Up TV, they have GAC, they have Hallmark, Movies and Mysteries, they have all of them, and I can record them
Oh,
and
Oh,
that's
save
nice.
them. So I end up saving more money doing Philo with just internet. And
Yeah.
then I get live TV through another, streaming, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't even do cable anymore because of that reason. And
Yeah.
I love Philo. I love it. It's like $30 a month, but with me
Yeah.
having the cable anymore, I kind of just substituted it that, with that. And it's just so much better. I
That
love
is a lot cheaper though. I mean, good God, my cable bill, because we have direct TV and AT&T owns it, and we have internet through AT&T. So it's like over 200 some dollars. And I don't even have like all the movie channels. I don't have all like the top package.
yeah.
I had to spend an extra $40 to get back into the package that had GAC and some others, and then ESPN, because we tried like cutting that out for a while, but then it was like, well, Jason watches enough sports that not having ESPN was causing some heartache. But we're looking, because NFL Sunday Ticket has gone away from DirecTV, so we're trying to
You get it
like
back.
look at options. I have a spreadsheet because it is so insanely complicated to keep track of all these streaming services and who has what. So enough. I digress.
You're fine.
But if anybody needs the research, I'm happy to share.
Right?
See, if I cut cable, I have to get rid of my TiVo, and like I don't want to get rid of my TiVo
Yeah.
because that's how like I quote a lot of Trevor's other movies because
Yeah.
I just set Trevor up as a search. So like
Yeah.
anytime there's something Aaron that he's in, it
Oh,
just
nice.
records it. So
That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. Well, that's a
Yeah.
bummer though they pulled it. I know I just streamed up Faith and Family like for $1, like a
Mhm.
trial thing, just so I could watch the Just Jake movie. But on Philo, the Up TV is on there. So that's a
Okay.
bummer. But I don't know. You could maybe do Up Faith and Family through or Up TV
So
through.
that's a separate one?
Yeah, Up Faith and Family. Yeah, I was surprised because I thought it would have been combined in the package, but it wasn't. It wasn't on my Philo, so I had to actually
it's
pay
actually
to.
two different channels.
I think they're the same thing, but they have like one's a streaming platform and the other one is just you're like a. I mean, I think they're all streaming, but I don't know what the difference is to be
The
honest.
kind of like Peacock being like the streaming thing for NBC and stuff like
maybe,
that.
maybe,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a different
It's
channel.
all of this separate like streaming stuff that's like on top of the regular channels is all well and good for people that like to cherry pick stuff. But at one point, I think we're all going to end up back in a mega package of something again, because nobody can keep this stuff straight.
Right. Yeah.
It is just
Saying,
impossible.
you go for this and why do you go for that? It's like crazy.
Really,
Exactly.
like when I started looking at it, that's why I made a spreadsheet. I'm like, I can't like loosely keep any of this in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too much because there are so many streaming platforms. Like there's Philo, of course, you've got Netflix and Amazon Prime, and then you've got YouTube TV and all of these other ones, and they all have different options, and some don't carry particular channels at all. So then you're trying to like, okay, I need this streaming service for this, and then I need this streaming service for this, and it's just insane.
It is. It's getting to be too
So
much, to be honest.
it's too much. It's too much.
All right,
Um,
Tracy, I think you're up.
I do. So you might have answered this, but let's just see. So what is your favorite role of his? Is it Billy Jenkins or is it something else?
Yep, it's Billy Jenkins. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, that is fair enough.
Do you have a second? Oh, sorry, Tracy.
Um, I guess maybe a good follow-up for that, like, what is it about that role particularly that makes it your favorite out of the ones that you've seen? Is it the military or is it just other things?
Yeah, definitely the military role, and just that when he comes out in that flight suit on that flight deck at the beginning, I was just like, it's
Favorite.
fun.
Fan. Where's the fan?
Yeah, so that was just everything. So that was, yeah.
Yes.
He does
I
look
had to
pretty
pick a second
badass
one.
in
I
the
think it would be what was that? Snow Coming, the one with
Yeah.
the football.
Was it Jake somebody?
Jake somebody, I think it was. Yeah, Tailgate with Jake. So it was Jake
Yes.
somebody.
Yes. Why am I blanking on
I'm
it?
blanking too. Now that I know it's Jake, but I
Oh
don't.
my God. I'm gonna lose my street credits.
I know, right? Me too. I mean, geez. Hey, at least you're going down with me.
Going down in
I'm
front of
not
me.
alone anymore.
Memory is just
Oh
Memories not
man,
good
yeah.
today.
well, I believe we are back to you, Cricket.
All right. So our next question is, so you've told us what your favorite role of his is. So let's say you're out with some friends and they're not really into social media. They're not really following anything that you follow. What would you say to them to kind of introduce Trevor and kind of convince them to start following him?
See, this is
I got you speechless.
yeah, because my friends are they're into things much darker. They don't really watch Hallmark movies. They don't do rom-coms, so they
Gotcha.
kind of make fun of me because I do. So yeah, I don't really unless he. I mean, I guess I could probably try like the Neighborhood Nightmare. I could probably try to go like one of those movies, or I forget what the other one, the Ghost
Goes beyond.
Ghost
Oh,
Beyond. I
yeah.
guess I could try to like try to prep one of those, but
That way.
Or
Okay.
Wolfhound too.
Yeah, there you go.
we've at least I forgot about Hunter. Yeah, I might get them to watch that, but the rom-coms, I'm just like, yeah, that's not
No.
happening.
Well, rom-coms aren't for everybody. That is true. They are a little sappy sometimes, but I love them. I'm just a sap, so that's what
Yeah,
happens.
I'm a sap, and it's the same kind of thing over and over again, but that's what we love about it. And
Yeah,
what
I'm
are you
okay
gonna
with
get?
that.
You're gonna get the happy ending, and it's all gonna be good in the end.
Yeah.
You
None
know-
of us are any under illusions about these films. We just like them for what they are.
Half an hour left. Something's got to go wrong, so they can make up and kiss at the end.
Exactly.
Yes.
But just the one tiny kiss. Just the one.
That's the one. But I don't know. We've had two a couple times. A couple times
I
I've
know.
actually like a
Yeah.
free kiss and then the kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been surprised
fun.
at some of his later ones where there was like a kiss and then there was like a kiss at the end, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
going
I-
rogue.
Yeah.
Scandalous for Hallmark.
I know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hallmark's gotten a little braver, from what I have seen.
Mhm.
I think GAC will still be a little, reserved in a sense, but I think they still
Mhm.
make it work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
Tracy,
they got the formula that works. They're just gonna
Yeah.
stick with that formula because it works. So why are you gonna mess with it since it's gonna do well? So
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
I still think they need a Hallmark After Dark though, but
They do.
they do they definitely do, and I'm here for
I mean,
it.
just a little racier, a little saucier, nothing scandalous.
a
You
little
know,
too
just
severe, just a little bit more like anticipation of the flirt.
Maybe a little heavy breathing.
Little fog on the windows, just a little.
Fog on the window. A little makeout sesh.
Right, just a little, just a
Just
little.
like close the door, get things going and you're just like, okay, the door shuts and then you go to the next scene.
Exactly.
Right, we can let our mind just wander, but at least, interject that a little bit, and then,
Yeah.
we can, ask for forgiveness later.
I'm not even asking for forgiveness. Like I want what I
Just
want.
trying to
The same thing, but I wasn't
Um,
gonna say it.
I love it.
Care anymore.
Oh my goodness. All right, Tracie, I think you're up.
Yes. So you did meet Trevor before. But like if you had an opportunity to meet him again and could ask him a question, what would that question be?
I think I would ask you about the whole Dancing with the Stars experience.
Yeah.
Mm.
And knowing what you know now, would you still go back and do it?
Yeah.
Because
That's a good
I
question.
know he said he's gotten, he's got a lot out of it. It was a good experience and everything,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
knowing what he knows, would he still go back and do it again?
Yeah. That's
That
a good question.
is very good question.
Yeah.
And would he have the same motivation, the same would he still be as nervous as he was when he first started it, now that he's, kind of done it now?
If he were to do it again, I think he would be less nervous, but I'll just let that thought go because I lost it.
Hey, you're not alone.
That's one away.
Oh, you got your shirt on. I love it.
Good sweatshirt. I got my DonoFANS red shirt.
I know, I got my team upstanders.
Okay. See if it's any better inside.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we're almost done
Yeah,
with the rapid fire hard hitting questions here.
that's right.
So I believe you are up next.
Okay. Out of the 3 movies, is that the next one you have, Tracie?
Yep.
Okay. So, Joe, out of the next 3 movies that Trevor has announced that he's going to be doing this year, which one of those are you looking forward to watching the most? I mean, is there anything about any of the ones that have been mentioned that you find interesting, but which one would you look forward most to seeing?
That's a tough decision.
They're all kind of different.
They're all very different, but guess the one where he's going to be on the Indian reservation, only you, just you, but drawing a complete blank on the name. Bad fangirl here. I
think
can't remember the
it's
name.
you.
It's you. I think that's it. I think
Yeah.
It's okay. I was calling it the horse movie.
So I just can't remember, but anyhow, yeah, I guess that's going to be different. So I guess maybe because the Christmas movie I'm looking forward to because I love Christmas movies, but that one just sounds like it's going to be something a little different.
Okay.
Not the standard, so that might be a little more fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm actually really looking forward to seeing that one too, because it's a different kind of
Dynamic,
and I think he'll do really well with I think it sounds like it's going to be like quirky comedy sort of stuff, and I really think he'll be good at that. So
he's got the sense of humor for it. So just letting him show that I think should be fun.
It's funny. Whenever I think of that movie, I think of in my mind the picture of the movie poster is him with his eyes all bulged out, and he's got one of them big Indian feather, like the chief thing on, and war paint on, and his eyes, and he's just going like this.
I haven't seen
I
that.
could just, like he's scared to death, like, holy crap, what happened? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too, and some of it, the other 2 as well. I'm excited because he's going to have, what, at least 4 coming out, because Reagan is also going to be released at some point, I think.
Right, yeah.
So,
I keep forgetting about it because it kind of pops up on the radar and then it disappears again, but I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Joe, do you have any future ideas of anything that you think maybe he should do, or anything that he should be a part of other than the team up standers or anything like that? Is there anything that you have thought maybe Trevor would do really well in anything, like as far as any future movies, any future endeavors? Like, is there anything that you think that Trevor has not done that you think he would be good at?
Just trying to think, there's just so many different kinds of roles out there. So just it really seems something he hasn't done before, but specifically, I mean, I think he's a good enough actor that he could really do anything that he set out to do. So he's got the talent. So
Mhm.
Absolutely.
more science fiction. He hasn't done too much sci-fi.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems like all the hot, not hot, but like he's hot, we know that, but like all of the big stars, they always do like a space theme movie. That's one of the things that I wanted to see him do. And that sounds
Oh,
really
okay.
corny, but I would love to see him do a space theme of some sort.
Yeah, I'm a sci-fi fangirl, so I would definitely like be here for that, just to see him do,
Yeah.
space or even something. Just a show back in the 90s called The Highlander.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
show.
Yeah, because actually, that was like one of the first fandoms when I actually really
Mhm.
seriously got involved in fandom. I flew to Reno to meet, well, okay, you should probably edit this part out, but just tell you guys since I started, I flew out to Reno to meet Peter Wingfield, who played Mythos, the 5,000-year-old man.
Okay.
So that was like my first like crazy fangirl thing that I did.
There's nothing crazy. That's my thing. Like, if you enjoy that stuff, who's to judge? Like,
And I remember I
your
met one of her
life.
best friends there in Reno, and she's from Philadelphia.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
that's so
So we
cool.
wound up meeting in Reno, and I was in her house 2 weeks later. We've been like best friends ever since. So
Oh my God, how
That
funny
is
is
so
that?
Don't give up on what you want to do. If you want to do it, go for it. Don't let anybody stop you. So I'm glad you went out there, Joe, because you know what? You may never have gotten another opportunity and you may never have met your friend, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
it was great. And well, in this case, I knew I was going to meet him because that's what it was. That's what it was for.
Mhm.
It was like, well, at
Oh,
the
okay.
time, they still actually had fan clubs, so it was the
Yeah.
Peter Wingfield fan club.
Oh, wow.
We were having our little convention, so the fangirls were coming out, and it was just everybody. We all knew each other like online. It was back in the days
Mhm.
when you had your handle.
That's awesome.
That
So
is sweet.
that's really cool because I didn't think back then they really didn't have anything like that. I didn't think I wasn't a part of anything either, but that's
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was, but kind of like depend because Peter Wingfield, he kind of like agreed to it, even though he was much more reserved than Trevor was. I mean, I met Peter Wingfield, oh gosh, 4 or 5 times, and never hugged anybody. Just, at the time, like I think we still had flip phones, so like selfies weren't a thing yet, but got autographs and everything. So nice, but he was definitely much more reserved. Very nice.
Mhm.
Very nice, but not like, oh, hi, how are you? Have a hug.
right.
So, but you guys remember Shanana?
Yes.
Okay, well, I was little, so I don't know how old I was, but my dad was National Guard and he was a recruiter at the time. So he
Mhm.
had to go do some kind of telethon for something. So
Mhm.
I went with him, and one of the groups performing was Shanana.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
cool.
Yeah, I was in the back, and Bowser comes in, and I'm just like, sitting there walking around, just whatever, bored out of my mind. Hey, kid, you want a Coke? It's like, okay. So I had a Coke with Bowser.
That is fantastic.
Oh,
I love
that's
that.
awesome.
That was my first fangirl experience before I knew what a fangirl was.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, are you planning to go into Rama Drama if they announce it? Are you going to try to go?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to go.
Okay, good. Because we're trying to get something together for Rama Drama, but we are also kind of trying to possibly put something together to maybe get with the DonoFANS too. So, one way or
Separately from Rama Drama.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We definitely are trying to do something because we all want to get together if we can, and we're going to try to make it, easy for people to hopefully get there. So we're kind of working on things. So I just wanted to let you
And
know.
cost effective.
Yes,
Yeah.
and cost effective.
Yeah, but as
Absolutely.
far as like
But we
getting like a
don't know
space,
what.
I mean, Gabby and Sarah, I think would, definitely like help us out saying, okay, you guys want to have a whatever, well, at this time or whatever, you can go to this room. I'm sure they could like, I'm sure they'd work something out that way.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping
I think they'd be really open to it.
I feel like Trevor and Yanni would support
Mhm.
like trying to get us all together, because I know Jackie has mentioned like he loves it, like when we've had abilities to like meet up with each other, like when Cricket and I met up and when I
Yeah.
got to meet with Jackie and stuff. So I feel like they would be supportive. I mean,
Well, I think
maybe
they definitely would.
Maybe, yeah, Jackie needs to work it through Yanni to coordinate with Gabrielle or something.
I mean,
Yeah.
if push comes to shove, we could really like, meet in the corner someplace, like a
I know.
residency or someplace, we could just like
Exactly.
all show up and like, what are they gonna do? We're just gonna stand there and talk or sit.
The
talk.
truck.
No, and that's kind of what the Heinies did too. So yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, we
We
could
could just
definitely
kind of
all.
set up and just like,
Mhm.
take over this little area and say, okay, this is like our space, excuse me, can you leave for a few minutes? Just go sit over there.
Just step
Oh,
aside.
Step aside, not a
Step
fan.
aside.
Yeah, the Heinies did that, and they just kind of set out a little message to everybody and said, "Hey, we're going to meet by the pool at 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
Come hang out with us and chat and whatnot." And that's when Riley Weston came down, and she actually sang for
Mhm.
everybody
She
down
was
there.
adorable. I had never seen her before. She was adorable.
Oh no, she's amazing. She is. I first met her at the one in Nashville, and
Mhm.
she I listened to her sing because she came on before Paul Green did, because we had like a little something happened where they didn't have that party that Friday night. They were supposed to have a party. And so instead, for the platinum holders, they had her and then Paul Green warm up before his concert, which was the next
Mm.
night. And so we got to hear Riley sing. And so that was the first time I had heard of her and heard her sing. And then
Oh,
at the
that's cool.
last, at the brunch, she was standing there, and I was like, oh, I need to go up and say hi to her and, get a picture with her. And, when she found out I had been prior military, she pulled out a CD and just handed it to me. She said, I want
Aw.
to, and it was one of her songs on there is so touching, and it's about the military. But yeah, she's on YouTube too. But yeah, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. But yeah, she sang that day at the pool. But yeah, I'm hopeful that we will get to do something special. And I'm hoping that, Tracie and I get to do an interview with Trevor, for the podcast there. And I've already sent her an email about it. And hopefully we will get that opportunity. So I'm really excited to be able to do that, or do a live, while we're there with him or something. So but
Yeah, that would be cool because I know I heard a couple like they talked about her when her and Sarah like got the whole concept to start Ramadan. That was like pretty
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
oh yeah. And it's funny you say that, because they went to Wizard World to Outlander to see Sam Heughan. And so they got to see firsthand how much of I'm just going to say, a clusterfuck it was. Because I went
yeah.
and I waited 3 hours in a packed area just to get a picture between plexiglass, because
Yeah,
COVID.
because this was the COVID time, so.
And for his platinum ticket, just him, was like $1,600. Yes,
Wow.
that was just for him. That was nobody else. And so, Rama Drama is only 800, and you get like 5, I think it is, 5
Mhm.
stars, 5
Yeah.
stars, all that.
And also if you get like if you buy the autograph, like they supply the picture.
Yes.
I used to go to the creation cons and you
yeah.
had to write your own picture. You paid for the autograph, but that didn't include anything for them to sign. You had to supply that yourself.
Oh,
So of
interesting.
course they conveniently had all these amazing pictures that you could buy, but again, it was like more money.
Yeah.
More money.
Creation, it's just like a big money grab. It's just, making you bleed money from the time you leave until the time you go home.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that about Rama Drama. They all have like 5 pictures that you could pick from, and you would just pick
Yeah.
one, and they would autograph it for you. So
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's very cool. For that one live I did after the Rama Drama, that when Trevor came on it, had asked her if there was any way that we could, do something with the DonoFAN. So I hope and I pray that, we can get something together, because I know like the Heinies did something, but like at the last Rama Drama in Palm Beach, they did a little Heinies thing at the beach, or not the beach, at the pool. And I actually went to that. But that was just something that was organized. But then I think they had something else after that, and maybe it was just at the final party thing or whatever. But yeah, they always have something a little bit special set aside for the Heinies, but that's probably because of Tyler Hines too. He's very insistent.
He's very good with his fans as well. I mean, he was
Yes.
out there with
Mhm.
them. So
Like, to give you an idea, like my first impression of Tyler Hines when I met him, I didn't really see him. Did I meet him? Yeah, I did meet him at the inside of the Rama Drama at the Franklin. And I didn't know who he was, had never seen any of his movies, knew his line was ridiculously long. And so I never went in it. Well, then I waited until his line went down, and then I went to go get a picture of him. And when I found out that he had his dog, Rusty James, his girlfriend's dog's name is Cricket. So when I found that out, I was like, are you kidding me? He goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was such a fan at that moment, because of that reason. I hadn't even seen his movies or anything, but all I know is his dog had a girlfriend named Cricket, and so then at the end of that event, and we did our brunch or whatever, he literally went down to the steps of this area where we took a big picture with all of us. I don't know if you guys have seen that picture or not.
Yeah.
But he went down to the bottom of the stairs, and he told all the heinies that were there that had paid for that platinum ticket to come and sit down, that he wanted to talk with them. And he's there the whole pretty much time of the brunch, just engaging with them. And, some of the other stars, obviously they didn't have a big group like that, but Trevor had quite a few people there, that were rooting for him. But he was doing some other things. He was off talking to the other actors. He was, taking pictures with people, but he didn't like take his group in. You know what I mean? So
Do you think he's shy about that?
I think so. I think he's just a little still a bit more reserved still. Not that he's shy, but still, I think he's still a little bit shy on some things.
No, I think so too. I absolutely think that too. And my take on it was, this is the first event of this kind, and there was no security. So imagine being this celebrity going, okay, you want me to sit down with all these people all of a sudden? Like, I can't imagine, and how he must have felt, and how, I mean, especially with his anxiety. Like, I know he has anxiety, and I don't know if it's with people or not. I didn't get that, but maybe a little bit. And so, yeah, I think for a lot of them, they didn't know how to act, because this was not normal in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost kind of wondering too. I mean, I didn't follow him when he was on 90210. I watched it for like a year, but it didn't really resonate with me the way the original did, because that's what I grew up watching, and it seemed like it was way more over sexualized and like fake drama, and I was like, whatever. So I never watched it, but he did have that like mega stardom from when he was on that show and also doing Days of Our Lives, and I'm wondering if he also got like a little bit like, sort of burnt out and distrustful of like, people that he doesn't know, and it just in general. And like, not that he's distrusting of fans, but like he was really like in this crazed chaos of a celebrity status for a while, and he's in a quieter place now where it's like a little bit more impactful and meaningful. Right. And I'm just wondering if
he's older too.
Yeah, and he's older too. I mean, he's in his 40s. He's not a 5-year-old.
Right. And he's not that young, hot teenager that was modeling either. So
yeah, exactly. He's a different person now. So I'm just wondering if part of it is like, he experienced that crazy, and now he's just a little bit more, careful, if you will.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it when you go stand in his line and everything. He's just like so welcoming, and just, embraces, and he's like, gives you a hug. And I mean, Joe, you can contest to that. I mean, he's just his presence is very good when you meet him. Like, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I was waiting, because I went to wait for when I was doing the meet and greet, I wound up like being the first one in on Friday. So he's getting ready. He comes over to the corner of the curtains, and he sticks his face out, kind of like, here's Johnny. That kind of thing. So I was like, making a face, and it was just like really funny.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, and he always does those crazy faces too. Sometimes he like jumps at you in the camera and that on his Instagram stories. So I can so see him doing that.
I gotta say something totally funny relating to the hugging real quick, because I haven't met him. I had a dream for whatever reason a few weeks ago. I don't often remember my dreams, and I don't often dream of him, but like I had this dream that I was somewhere where I was going to be able to meet him. It was like somebody's house, and there were like random groups of my friends from different like circles, if you will. And I got a chance to go up and meet him, and like he smiled at me, but he like fist pumped me or something. He didn't give me a hug. And I just remember feeling like,
Well,
hug? I just remember being like incensed in the dream.
like seriously?
Like, dude, I am like
for you
busting my
every
ass
day.
trying to like help promote you. Come on. I don't get
I'm like, you do mashups, excuse me. I do mashups every day for you. Come on, leave me.
like, do you
Give her love.
my husband jokes around all the time. He's like, are you getting paid for this?
Right? I know. I know. Everybody says to me, oh, you making money with that? I'm like, no, I'm making money in my own way. And that's,
Yeah.
I get from being able to do it, to me,
Yeah.
it's so cool to be
This
able
is just fun stuff. I don't give a shit. I've never even thought about that, but I just like he said it at the airport when Cricket and I were doing our
right.
thing. He was like, so what's your hourly rate for this? Or
What's your retainer? That's right. So funny. It's just a lot of fun. I can't wait though, because I'm hoping that a lot of people will get to go to Rama Drama and we're going to film a lot and do a lot. And I'm so excited because it's going to be so much fun. So,
yeah.
But
there's more of us now too. I think there's like more Dono fans.
Yes.
So that's gonna help too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Trevor is not going to feel like he got, he felt some kind of way last time at Rama Drama and didn't even tell anybody until he was on that live with us. And so that's why I'm so determined. And I know the Dono, Jackie and Beth and Tamara are also determined, you too, Tracy, to make sure he doesn't feel that way with the next Rama Drama. So I really would love
there had been something like we would have been there. So
I know
it wasn't like there wasn't an opportunity for it. So there wasn't any there wasn't any opportunity outside of which I'm not complaining. I'm just saying there wasn't.
Yeah,
you had your meet and greet, you had your autograph or whatever, and those were really the times you really got to interact. There wasn't anything like other time where you could really just walk up and chat.
Right. Yeah, hopefully they put it in with the general admission ticket. I would hope they would do that. Because if they only limited it to the platinum, we're not going to get everybody in there. I just know we would.
because that's going to be too expensive for a lot of people.
I know. So hopefully we can discuss that with Jackie and Yanni and hopefully make it happen for everybody. So I'm so excited. Well, Joe, did you want to say anything else to add to the podcast at all, to the episode? Do you want to say a little bit about yourself, like anything?
I don't really know. I'm not all that interesting, so I'm not really sure.
Sure you are. Sure you are. Everybody has a story. That's what I always say. Can I ask you, where did you grow up at?
Oh, I grew up in Paterson, New Jersey.
Paterson, New Jersey. Have you lived there your whole life?
I've lived in New Jersey my whole life. Paterson, I moved from Paterson, which was kind of like an inner city, up to Vernon in 1990. And I've been up in Vernon, which is like, New Jersey's not that big, but it's kind of like it's all North Jersey, but I guess it's about an hour away, but it's like a huge difference. It's basically I live in the woods now as opposed to being in the city.
Yeah.
And so the street light shining in my bedroom when I was a kid in the basketball court across the street at the schoolyard. So I'd be all night. So you move up here and just like silence because you're in the middle of the woods. So it was a big change, but that's good. But I've been in Jersey my whole life. So
that's cool.
That is cool. I lived in Maryland for a little while. I was on the East Coast for a while, like almost 12, 13 years. And I always liked the East Coast, but I came back home to Indiana. I don't know why, but there's like nothing here, but that's okay. But
so what was that movie called? Lean on Me?
Yes.
With Joe Clark, the principal?
Yep.
That's where I was supposed to go to high school.
Really?
I would have been in high school when Joe Clark came in to clean things up.
Oh my gosh.
It's like during my high school time frame when Joe Clark arrived, I believe.
Wow.
But I did not go to Eastside High School. As well. If you see the movie, that's why I didn't go to Eastside High School. So
oh my goodness.
Okay. All right. Well, girls, I'm gonna thank you both for coming on the show today. And I look forward to seeing you guys online and hanging out. So you guys have the rest of your day, okay?
Yeah. And it was a pleasure getting to chat with you, Joe.
Yes.
it was nice to chat face to face, so to speak.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Guys, well, thanks for chatting. Enjoy the
Yeah.
day.
Comment. You too.
See
It
you
was nice
later.
talking with you, Joe. Bye. Everybody, welcome to Dishing with the DonoFANs. I am Cricket, your host, and this is Tracie Crumbine, my co-host, and we want to welcome you to Dishing with the DonoFANs, where we
dish about Dono. Where we dish about the Trevor Donovan.
oh my gosh. Where
Maybe
we
you can
dish
keep
up,
this.
okay, where we dish up juicy banter with I'm not even gonna say that shit. We're not saying that. You know what? I'm gonna go with the one that we all did because it came out just fine the last time. So
It's
we'll
awesome.
we'll
Scouts on Paw Patrol barking, so
save this one for the blooper reel.
yeah. Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Woo, man.